I have been asked to do a few different scenarios within Title Bout II. Title Bout II is Jim Trunzo's latest version of the original Title Bout. Phenomenal game that came out back in the 70s. The new 2018 version of Title Bout is great. I think you would find it highly enjoyable. I highly recommend it, and you can find it at straightjabmedia.com. In this scenario, I'm going to be looking at the start of a fight and looking at counterpunches. Now I've got two guys, Tony Musto, who is a 6S. You can see the 6S right here. S stands for slugger. He'll be going against Nathan Mann, who's a 7B. So you'd look at these two and you'd think Nathan's got a little bit better of a shot. And I can tell you, because I'm rigging these scenarios, Musto's going to have a very, very, very rough day. And so you'll see that as we go through these videos. Anyway, you can see Nathan Mann is a 7B. B stands for boxer. So you've got a slugger versus a boxer. Sometimes you'll see an E up here. That means either. It means that the fighter has the option of either boxing or slugging, depending on which one is to his benefit. We'll take a look at the control factors. Musto is a 7 versus a boxer or a slugger. So you can see he's equally bad against both. It's not like he's better at either one. He's lousy at both. Nathan Mann, on the other hand, is a 9 versus a boxer, a 7 versus a slugger. Now, since Mann is facing Musto, who is a slugger, it'll be a 7 and a 7. And if you take a look at the rules, I believe it's page 3, maybe 4, it shows you the chart. So a 7 and a 7 would become a 10 and a 10. So both these are going to have a CF factor of 10. So that means a 10 on the CF or lower will get you control. So we'll start out. The other thing I want to point out is at the beginning of a fight, or at the beginning of a round, every round, you go with who has the higher aggression. In this case, we've got an aggressive rate of 10 for Musto and a 6 for Mann. So Musto's going to come out, and it's assumed that whoever has the higher aggression is going to come out and immediately take action. So on the very first card, you're going to look at the random number and then apply that to the action and see where it falls. After that, you'll have to continue to check to see if the fighter remains in control, whether it's the original fighter or the other one. So we'll start out. Musto's going to go directly to the random. It's a 19. When we look at 19 on his card, we see it's a punch landed. Now, before I go any further to see what kind of punch it was, I do want to touch also on the defense. Nathan Mann has a 0 on his defense, which means the punches landed for Musto is 1 through 26. That's not going to change. However, Musto has a +4. So when we add the +4 over here, Nathan Mann's punch range, the landed, goes from a 1 to 28 all the way up to a 1 to 32. So he obviously is going to land a little bit more punches. So we see that the 19 falls within the 1 to 26. So now we'll find out it's a result of 53. We compare that 53 down here in the hitting section. We'll find what range it would be in, and it falls in the combination 3-point. So this is a 3-point shot, and we'll move him up to a 3 on the board. Now we'll need to see if Musto can remain in control. 16. He cannot. So now we'll see if Nathan Mann can gain control. CF 15. He does not. So we go back to Musto. CF 16. He does not gain control. A lot of times I'll hear people say, well, it's just going back and forth with the CFs and nobody's really doing anything. Well, in a real fight, if you're watching it, that's exactly what happens. You've got boxers going back and forth, trying to look for an opening, trying to find their spot, making sure that they can get their shot in without opening themselves up for anything else. So in this case, they're dancing around the middle of the ring. They're trying to look for an opening. They're feeling each other out. And now we'll go on to the next one. This is back to Nathan Mann. 10. Since both of them are 10s for CF, he is in control. 33. Now remember, this 1 to 28 went up to a 1 to 32 because of the +4 defense that we see on Musto's card. But even at 1 to 32, that's outside the range. The 33 falls up here. Now I want you to notice that the punches landed range is now 33 to 47. But the CP, 35, that tells you that's the top end of counterpunch opportunities. basically, man threw a punch, but he left an opening where Musto can throw a punch back. So that's what a counterpunch is. So in this case, because it starts at 33, 33, 34, and 35 are all counterpunch opportunities. So now we're going to take a look at the next card. Since 33 is a counterpunch opportunity, Nathan Mann gets a miss. So if you're tracking missed punches, that's one of them. We flip over the next card and it's a 28. Now, as we noted earlier, Mann has a 0 on his defense, so the 26 would not be adjusted. However, we're going to add the counterpunch number. So that 3 to the 26 makes that now a 29. So when we take a look at the 28 on the random, because the punches landed range now goes up to 29, it does fit. So Musto lands a counterpunch. We'll check the next result, 29. And we see that that's a 2-point hook. So we'll move him up 2 more. He's up to 5. Now, even though Musto was the one who just landed that punch, it was off of a counterpunch, which means Mann is technically still in control, and we'll need to see if he remains in control. Flip the next card. The number's 9. He is in control. It's an 11. 11 is well within the 1 to 32 range. Remember, it goes up by 4 because of the defense of Tony Musto. And the result is a 2. When we look down here at the bottom, we can see the jab. It's a 3-point jab. So we'll move him up to 3. And that's an example of the start of a fight and counterpunching.